Hey Lee, one other question coming in right now is about making the estimate a little bit more accurate by adding connections into the model. Can you maybe show something with that?
Yeah, so what we could do is if you didn't want to go take the time to add in all of the actual like the detailed level connections, let's just highlight this area here real quick. For example, we'll just grab this small little sections that you could come up here to detailing down to our auto connections, and there's a couple things that you could do here within this dialog box. Is that you could put on just like simple clip angle connections depending on the scenarios in the model. You could put on actual shear tabs, so that'll give you the connections with the bolts. It'll cut the beams back and cope them out and everything like that. Or you could just put on the actual fittings. If you put on fittings, you can set this back to where, like, if you had a beam coming into a column flange, the way that we have it modeled in is point to point. So from the center of the column out to the end of the flange is basically just going to be extra. This is going to be junk material, right? It's going to be thrown away. So you could apply the fittings to have it cut back to all of the different faces. So depending on how accurate you want to be or what you want to show within your estimate, you could choose these. So if I'll just come in here and just throw on, let's just throw on some shear tabs. We'll just go ahead and run these connections here.
So that'll cut everything back to length, and it will also apply the shear tabs and the bolts required for this as well. It may struggle. I mean, this is a system that we've developed or that we've localized here for the Tekla for our Tekla users. But of course, if you had your own auto connection system, you could develop that yourself. It's basically just a set of rules that defines what you want to do where one piece of steel hits another piece of steel, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. You're just defining rules that if I have a beam going into a column and it's a perpendicular situation, use this connection. If it's skewed, use this connection, or whatever. It just runs through the different rules.
Now, it might show, like, zoom in where those like the awkward skewed connections are, because there may be somewhere it might just give you something that's not perfect, but it should be enough for an estimate. And it's also like it's not going to be the final detailed solution, but it will still give you a good value of information based on the rules that you guys specify. That will give you a fairly accurate estimate.
Yeah. So your beams will be cut to length and everything like that. So depending on how detailed you want to get, you can most certainly do that. Okay.